Hi friends, thanks for watching my channel App Developers. This is Srikanth. Let's learn something new today. Today we are going to discuss about one of the popular tool called SwiftFormat. In this video, we are going to discuss about what is meant by a SwiftFormat, how useful it is, what is the difference between SwiftLint versus SwiftFormat, how to install, configure and use SwiftFormat, and we'll end this video with some examples. At any point in time, if you feel this video is helpful, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Let's understand what is meant by a SwiftFormat. SwiftFormat is command line tool which will going to read all our Swift files and formats our code according to the rules which we going to define. It is very helpful tool when we are working in a big projects. Every programmer might have a different formatting styles. In a collaboration for the project, it is always recommended to have a single formatting style across the code base. To enforce all the programmers to maintain a single formatting style in a manual process, it is tedious job. To resolve these issues, we need some kind of a tool. We have a similar kind of tools called SwiftLint and SwiftFormat. Let's try to understand what is SwiftLint, what is SwiftFormat, what is the differences. We have a dedicated video for SwiftLint. If you are not familiar with that, I strongly recommend please go through my previous video on SwiftLint. I will add this video link in the I button. Let's try to understand what is the difference between SwiftLint and SwiftFormat. SwiftLint is basically a linter tool which checks the coding style violations without changing the code, whereas SwiftFormat is actually modifies the code according to the rules which we define. The main functionality for the SwiftLint is to focus on static code analysis and flag issues like naming, line length, whereas SwiftFormat actually maintains the coding consistency by modifying the files with proper indentation, spacing, line breaks, etc. SwiftLint also have auto correction mechanism, but it has a limited access. The most of the issues we need to modify or we need to fix manually, whereas SwiftFormat, it has very good strong auto correction mechanism. It directly modifies the code according to the rules which we define. To configure SwiftLint, we need to create .swiftlint.yaml file on the root directory, whereas for SwiftFormat, either we need to create .swiftformat or we can use .swiftformat.yaml. Typically, we use SwiftLint in CI/CD pipeline to check are we maintaining code quality according to our rules or not, whereas SwiftFormat ideally it's a good place where we can use in the build phases or manually we can run the SwiftFormat once we done with implementation. Simply SwiftLint enforces the coding quality and flagging potential issues without modifying the code, whereas SwiftFormat ensures the consistency of code format and readability across the code base. Now let's see how to install SwiftFormat. SwiftFormat supports several ways to install in the Mac. One of the recommended ways using Homebrew. It also supports Mint. It also have Swift Package Manager, and we can integrate through either Cocoa Pods also. To install through Homebrew, we need to run brew install SwiftFormat in the terminal. As I already installed in my system, I am verifying the version. To verify the version, SwiftFormat -version. Yes, I am able to get the version. So SwiftFormat is already installed. Once it is installed, it is ready to use. We have a set of predefined rules which is already configured in the Swift format. To check set of the rules, just run rules command. For that, run SwiftFormat -rules. If you run the SwiftFormat -rules, you will get list of rules. Some of them are enabled, some of them are disabled by default. These are all the rules which are not marked as disabled, or by default it is enabled. Okay. To configure the set of rules, we need to create a .swiftformat file. For that, I'm navigating to the I'm in root project. I'm in the root folder of the project. So I'm creating .swiftformat file. For that, I'm going to run touch command, touch .swiftformat. Now let's open .swiftformat. So I have empty SwiftFormat file. Let me paste the default. Let me paste the configuration file which I already have. Now let's try to understand the configuration file .swiftformat YAML file. So these are all the commands. These are all the command line arguments which we are going to pass in the SwiftFormat tool. So if you want to exclude any of the Swift file or a folder to not to run SwiftFormat tool, so we need to mark them with a exclude flag. So there are other options too. So example, indent. So here is the indent flag which will carries where you can give the number of spaces. Here by default it's 4. If you give 2, it will maintain 2 spaces indentation. So if you want to enable any of the rule which is not by default enabled, you can use -enable with the rule name. If you want to disable any of the rule, by default it is disabled, you can disable with command option called -disable. So here I am enabled some of the rules like is empty and redundant parity rules. We'll understand more once we jump into the code. SwiftFormat also has such a beautiful documentation on each and every rule, how it will going to apply and how it will going to modify the rules and everything. So don't worry, I will add this link in the comment section so you can access it from the comment section. For example, if you see, we opted is empty rule, right? If you go to that is empty rule, if you see example, this is the how it will going to impact any array which checks count is not equal to 0 or count equal to 0 or count greater than 0 kind of things, it will convert into the is empty property. Likewise, it will modify our code. Let's see in the reality. For that, I am opening SwiftLint demo application. So here, these are all the warnings thrown by SwiftLint, and let's see how it is going to fix using the Swift format. For that, I am opening terminal and running SwiftFormat. For that, run command like SwiftFormat dot. So here dot indicates applying SwiftFormat tool on all the Swift files from the root directory to all the root and children directories. Once I press enter, oh, I think there is a typo. SwiftFormat dot. See, it applies 2 files out of 2. It applies 2 files on the Swift format. Let's go and check in the project. See, it formatted our code in such a way that we change the indentation to 2, right? So that's why it is taking 2 spaces indentation, and it folds all the unused functions, curly braces and everything. And now let's check for the isEmpty rule is applying or not. For that I am creating a function called some sample is empty rule check. I am creating array where array equal to some 1 2 3. Here I am going to check whether array is empty or not. For that, array dot count is greater than 0, then print array is not empty, else print array is empty. And let's run once again. SwiftFormat dot, see, one file is modified. If you go and check, see, it is modified in such a way that is empty is false, then it is checking, it is printing the Swift format. See, this is how it is formatted. If you want to update the indentation, let's modify indentation to 4 and save and run SwiftFormat dot. So two files got updated. If you go back and see, now we have 4 spaces indentation. So this is how Swift format will work. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment out below so that I will try to answer your questions as early as possible. Thanks for watching my channel. If you feel this information is helpful, if you learn something new, please do like video and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Learn together, grow together. Thank you.